everyone, it's Mrs. P. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber or if you're new, welcome. On my channel, I go over our weekly budget. My husband gets paid weekly, I get paid monthly, and I do a budget at the beginning of the week. His check usually hits the bank on Thursdays, but I like to know what's, planned for the week. That way, I can reconcile anything that might be a surprise to us. I hope that it is warmer in your area. We had some warm up today. It was nice. We got to, go in and out without feeling like, we were going to freeze to death. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the budget. This is going to be for the week January 25th through the 31st. And even though I get paid on the 31st, my paycheck covers February, so I won't include that into this week's budget. I will use that for the beginning of February. So, all right, let's go ahead. I'm going to zoom you guys in. And for any of you guys that watched my cash stuffing video, my nickel is still in the candle. I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave him there. I'll get him out eventually, but yeah, I had a little issue with trying to put the nickel in the cash container and it fell into the candle. So anyway, I'm just going to leave it there. All right, so I'm going to zoom you guys in and I'm going to go ahead and write the date. January, let's see here, 25th through the 31st. Rollover, we don't expect much. I'm thinking maybe around $50 is what we had calculated at the end of the last budget, but we will find out for sure Wednesday night when I balance everything out and close out this week's budget. Mr. P, he did have a good, 44-hour week, so he'll have a little bit more than what I budget, usually around 900, but I think it'll be around 1,000. And we are not expecting any other income. All right, so this would be $1,050. All right, so for bills, we have, let's see here, Google storage, it's around $3. Apple storage, which would be around 10. Prime, or Amazon Prime, 17, and Mr. P Hobby, $50. And then this section of our bills and expenses adds up to be $80. And if you take that from $1,050, you are left with $970. And then I bring that down to the next section, which is our sinking funds and savings. Month ahead also goes here, but because I've already funded the $600 for January, I do not need to get anything out for month ahead. So that'll be $0. Sinking funds, I'm not getting very much out for sinking funds either. I'm gonna get out $110. And savings, nothing, because we are already fully funded in our savings. With sinking funds, even though I could totally fill those envelopes up with some cash and I would feel a whole lot better doing so, while we're trying to pay off debt, I'm trying to give as little as possible to our sinking funds. I think I'm going to have to adjust some of them in February, mainly like medical, things like that, where I see some increase in costs of prescriptions and things like that. But for right now, I'm going to just get $110 in sinking funds. And so this section adds up to be $110, and that leaves us with $860. All right, so now I'm going to move over to our cash envelopes. We get everything for my wallet in cash except for gas. Gas we just leave in the bank and we just use our debit card to get gas. So I'm going to bring that $860 up here. And groceries. Now, I've been doing a low spend pantry challenge for groceries this month. I also got a $50 gift card for some rewards points that I cashed in. So instead of doing the $125, I'm only going to get out $75 and just use the $50 card. All right, pet supplies. I'm going to get 25 this week. Household, I'm going to only get 15. I did order paper towels. I know I've said that all month long. I finally ordered them from Sam's, and I was very pleasantly surprised. We had a like an $11 Sam's cash balance, so I used that. So I only had to put $10 toward paper towels, and they just arrived today. Mr. P is going to get 20. Mrs. P, I'll get 40. Miss P will also get, Miss P will get 20. All right, sporting events, we'll get 20. We have one ball game that I know of this week. It's the championship basketball game for middle school. And our girls have played so well this year. I really feel like they've got a chance at winning it. All right, eating out is going to get 0. We're still hanging strong on the eating out. All right, gas, 60. And unbudgeted, I'm going to say nothing. I don't think we'll have any surprises come in. All right, so this section will add up to be $275. And if I subtract that from the $860, I'm left with $585. And then I'm going to move that down to our debt section, $585. And we only have one debt to pay this week, and it's the John Deere. It's my husband's Gator and his riding lawnmower. It's $404. And then this is where I'd also put Snowball. Now, all month long, I've put Snowball as 0, and I only put a little bit extra here and there when I know that we can, budget it. A lot of people have, said, with our rollover, it made them think, we should be putting that towards debt. But I knew that some of our weeks were built heavy. Well, since this is the end of the month and I know that we'll start fresh in February, anything that's left over is going to go to the Snowball. So we will actually zero out our budget for January. All right, so if I subtract the 404 from 585, I get 181. So I'm going to put 181 to the Snowball, and that would add up to be 585 and leave us with a zero-based budget. Now, anything extra, if the bills come in, let me zoom back out. If the bills come in cheaper, than what we anticipate, or if my husband gets more money, whatever's left over at the end of January, on January, probably the 30th, because I know my check hits the bank on the 31st, we will put all of that towards our credit card, the credit union credit card. That's the one we're working on right now, because we were able to pay off the Discover card this month. And I did see, I got an email that said that I had some cash rewards left with Discover that apparently I thought that I had, cashed them out and put them toward the balance, but it didn't go through or something like that. So anyway, they're going to just deposit that extra, it's like $20 and some change, into the bank account. So probably that will be extra on this check or this week, and so I'll put that actually to the Snowball. I cannot talk. It's late. Monday, typical Monday. All right, so anyway, that's our budget for this. We should have zero rollover because I want to, put everything extra towards debt. All right, so now I'm going to do our cash planning. All right, so I am going to, let me zoom this back out a little bit. I'm going to turn to where I do our cash breakdown for the envelopes and the binders. Let's see here. It's back here. All right, so I am going to go ahead and do our cash planning. This pad that I've got here for the cash planning, that came from the Aesthetic Dollar. I love her stuff. I wish that I could afford to have all of it. All right, so I'm going to start here with groceries. I can't even write today. Oh, that's going to bother me. I'm going to have to fix that S. All right, I'm going to zoom you back in so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, groceries. we'll get 75. Pet supplies, 25. Household, 15. Mr. P, 20. Mrs. P, 40. Miss P, 20. Sporting events, 20. And so that's all for my wallet. So I'm going to just separate this with a highlighter. It just helps me when I'm cash stuffing to make sure I've got each binder that I need. All right, so then the only thing in the next binder that's going to get anything is medical. And that'll be 20. And then Biggest Loser. Me and my husband are so close in our percentages. We're very competitive people anyway, but it's funny, like he can't wait for me to do the calculations because every time he loses some, he always loses more than I do. And so he's trying so hard to catch back up. All right, we did have kind of a yucky Sunday though. We ate quite a bit. Car maintenance is gonna get 25. Home maintenance is going to get 20. And that's all in that binder. And the only other thing that's going to get funded this week is going to be Christmas. And that will be $40. All right, so now I need to figure out my denominations. So with groceries, I'm going to get 150, 120, and a 5. Pet supplies, a 20 and a 5. Household, a 10 and a 5. Mr. P, he owes me some money. He took my daughter to the movies and, you know, it's no spend January, but if you have your blow money, you know, then that will cover, you know, your ticket to get in and your food. Well, I kind of felt bad for my daughter because she'd already spent some extra money on, she had a sleepover with her friends and they wanted pizza. So she used her own money to buy the pizza because, you know, we're not eating out or anything. And so then I felt bad. So I gave her some of my blow money for the movies. And my husband used it. So I'm like, hey, that's not fair. So, I don't know. Should I make him pay me back? No, I'm not going to make him pay me back. I'll give him a 20. All right, me, 2 20s. And Miss P, I'm going to give her 2 10s. Sporting events, 2 10s. Medical, 120. Biggest Loser, a 5. Car maintenance, a 20 and a 5. Home maintenance, a 20. And Christmas, 2 20s. That was relatively easy. Okay, so I need to add all of this up. All right, so we've got 75, 25, 15. You hear the rocking of my calculator. 20, 20, 5, 25, 20, and 40. 325. All right, so this should be 325. All right, so let me bring these denominations down. We've got 150. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20s. I feel like I'm not in the right spot. Oh, you can't even see it. All right, so this should be the 50s. So this is 150 and this is 10 20s. Okay. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10s. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5s. All right, so let me add this up. 150 is $50. 10 20s is 200. 5 10s is 50, and 5 5s is 25. So this should add up. Ooh, this should add up to be 325. So let's see. 50 plus 200 plus 50 plus 25. 325. And that is correct. All right, so now I just need to put my denominations on my little teller slip. And I've noticed that when people do the cash stuffing, when they get their money and bring it out, they'll always show the camera the denominations before they cash stuff. Well, my bank always keeps my teller slip. They never send it back in the little you know, tube thing. So I just think it's funny that they keep it. I guess they think I don't need it anymore. All right, so I don't want any 100s, or I don't need any 100s. I'd love to have some. All right, 50, then 10 20s, that'd be 200. 5 10s, which is 50, and 5 5s, which is 25. And no ones. All right, so that should be $325. And that is it. We will go get that from the bank. This I'm not going to get out till Thursday, but we're ready. Every now and then something might change, but once I put it on this teller slip, I don't want to waste the teller slip, so I'll keep it. I'll try to go by that as much as I can. All right, so anyway, that is all. I've got my mess here. Put my stuff here. You want to see my nickel floating in there? I guess I could dig it out, but I'm just going to let him sit in there. All right, well, thank you guys for watching this video and hanging out with me. And if you've got any questions, you know, just leave them in the comments, or suggestions. I'm always up for, you know, doing things different or better if you guys see something that I should do. But I appreciate you hanging out with me, and in the next couple days, we will do our weekly check-in to see how we did this week. So far, so good. All right, thanks. I'll see you later. Bye.